Hi everybody, it's Nina. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I have a seed packet envelope tutorial and also a little mini card to share with you. As you can see here, I've got the little mini card and the seed packet envelope. The card is 4 1/4 by 2.5 inches and the envelope is just a little bit larger and it fits perfectly inside. And the envelope was inspired by a seed packet that I had seen on Pinterest and thought it would be great to design one of my own and use it for a card. So let me show you how I did this. So you started off with a 8.5 by 2.5 inch watercolor panel here that I've scored at 4 1/4 inches, folded it in half. And now I also have another panel that's the same size, 4 1/4 by 2.5 inches, and I'm just skewing it to the side and then trimming off the excess pieces. And this is where we're going to be doing all of our stamping. But first we're going to create a polka dot pattern on our card base using some Ranger texture paste and a polka dot stencil by Heidi Swap. So I'm just going to lay this down and adhere it to my card using some masking tape. And now I'm bringing in my texture paste and I'm just going to apply it to the entire card with a nice even coating. So there's our card and we're going to set that aside to dry. Now we're going to bring in our little panel and we're going to be using some stamps from Newton's Antics and the Bunny Hop stamp sets. So I'm just going to apply these to my acrylic blocks and we're going to do some masking. So first I'm going to position this flower pot where I want it and just kind of eyeball where make a mark and eyeball where I'm going to be putting my cat. So I'm just going to be taking some masking tape and masking off Newton's body because we're just going to be using his head. And I'm going to ink that with StazOn jet black ink. Remove the masks and stamp it onto our panel. And I'm going to stamp Newton one more time, this time on some sticky notes as we're going to be using this for our mask. And I'm not bothering masking off his body since it'll be cut off. So now that we have our mask in place and I've masked off the bunny on the flower pot, I'm going to ink that up with the same ink and stamp it onto my panel. And of course you see it didn't stamp all the way since we masked pieces off, but I've just reapplied those with a black pen. So now I'm taking a Simon Says stamp from the Soaring For You stamp set, and I'm just stamping the cloud in some portions of the background. Now I'm taking my Derwent watercolor pencils and I'm going to be coloring in the image. So I'm just going to let you watch the coloring and I will be back when we continue making the card. So now I'm adding in some extra details with my black pen, just kind of darkening up some of those lines that might have gotten muted and fixing anything that needs fixed. Doing this carefully so I don't mess anything up. And now I'm using a white paint pen, and I'm adding in some white dot details and also some highlights to the blades of grass behind Newton and also on the ground below him. And I'm also going to add some dots to the clouds just for some extra little detail. Now I'm taking a Wink of Stella glitter pen, and I'm just applying some glitter to the clouds, the flower. I'll also apply some to the grass and also to some of Newton's details on his face. So now I'm taking some of the Newton's Nook and Bunny Hop stamps, and I cut apart the stamps to spell out the sentiment, wishing you a perfect Easter. And I'm going to be stamping this with some Versamark ink and heat embossing it with gold embossing powder. So just inking the stamp up, and then I'll go ahead and stamp it above the Newton sitting inside the flower pot. So I've layered some patterned paper behind the panel, and now I'm adding some white faux stitching around the edges and also some Wink of Stella glitter to the darker stripes of the patterned paper. Taking a plaid purple ribbon, I'm now tying a bow and kind of fiddling with it, and went off a little off camera here, sorry about that, and just kind of fixing the bow until I get it the way I like it. So I've cut out the envelope using my silhouette, and I'm just folding the flaps over. I've already scored it, and I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to the larger flap, fold that over, and also to the bottom flap and fold that over. So there's my envelope all ready to go, and I created a label using the Simon Says Stamp Cake and Congrats die set, and then I ran it through my Big Shot and stamped a sentiment, Happy Easter, on the little label. So that finishes the cards, and I hope you've enjoyed. Please be sure to stop over at my blog where you can find more pictures and supplies used for these cards, and also where you can find the cut file to create your own version of these seed packet envelopes. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.